Good day, everyone, and welcome to this Triumphant Thursday. We hope that you are ready for another wonderful reading of our Enormous Crocodile by Roald Dahl. So, early in the week, I asked you what were some other stories that Roald Dahl wrote. We know that he wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because it says it right here on the cover of the book. But do you know what other stories he's written? So maybe you'll find out. So make sure that you look up his name and that you're able to find out exactly what else he's written, because he's done a lot of things that you probably know about. So we'll find out a little bit more later. So when we left off, we know that this enormous crocodile, first of all, do you remember where this story took place? And we know that it took place in the biggest, brownest, muddiest river in Africa. That's what the story said. It started out like that, in the biggest, brownest, muddiest river in Africa. So we know that's the setting, one of the settings. And then we know that enormous crocodile was one of our characters, along with the not so big one, which is right here. And then, as we went on in the story, we were introduced to another character who was Humpy Rumpy the hippopotamus. And later on in the story, we saw that Humpy Rumpy actually helped to save two children, a brother and a sister, Toto and Mary, from the enormous crocodile's one of his clever tricks. Then we were also introduced to Trunky, the elephant. And so we know that the hippopotamus, he bit Trunky on his leg right there. He's terrible. And he must have been really, really hungry. He's up there trying to eat the elephant. And how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Ha 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 ha. I know that was corny, but anyway. Then we were introduced to Mugglewump the monkey, who hung out in a tree. And so Mugglewump, he was just so, was wondering about this particular enormous crocodile, wondering what in the world he was doing. Then we were introduced to Roly-Poly, the bird, and we know that nasty old crocodile bit Roly-Poly's tail and took several of his feathers off of him. And so poor Roly-Poly, he didn't have very many feathers left. And again, we know clever trick number one was for the enormous crocodile to actually pretend like he was a coconut tree. And then again, that's the brother and sister that came along, and they were going to get coconuts. But then Humpy Rumpy saved the day and knocked that nasty old enormous crocodile right over so he couldn't eat the children. So now we're picking up the story. So let's see what's going to happen next. I'm excited. All right. But crocodiles are tough. It is difficult for even a hippopotamus to hurt them. The enormous crocodile picked himself up and crept toward the place where the children's playground was. Now for clever trick number 2, he said to himself. This one is certain to work. Remember, I was asking, I wonder how many tricks he actually had. So the first one was for him to be as a coconut tree. So let's find out what the clever trick number 2 is. There were no children in the playground at the moment. They were all in school. The enormous crocodile found a big log and placed it in the middle of the playground. Then he lay across the log and tucked his feet so that he looked almost exactly like a seesaw. Oh, he's so terrible. When school was over, the children all came running into the playground. Oh, look, they cried. We have a new seesaw. They all crowded around, shouting with excitement. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I remember being on a seesaw, and one person has to be on one end and one person has to be on the other end, and you rock back and forth. And you push your foot up, and you push your foot so you can get up in the air, and the other person will come down, and it goes back and forth. I'll go first. I'll go first. I'll get on the other end. I want to go first. So do I. Then a girl who was older than the other said, "It's rather a funny, novelty sort of seesaw, isn't it? Do you think you'll be safe to sit on?" "Of course it will," the other said. "It looks strong as anything." The enormous crocodile opened one eye, just a tiny bit, and watched the children as they were crowding around him. "Soon," he thought, "one of them is going to sit on my head. Then I will give a jerk and a snap, and after that, it will be yum, yum, yum." This is what he thought. At that moment, there was a flash of brown, and something jumped into the playground and hopped up on top of the swings. What do you think it was? Or who do you think it was? It was Mugglewump the monkey. "Run!" Mugglewump shouted to the children. "All of you, run! 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 That's no seesaw. It's the enormous crocodile, and he wants to eat you up." Look at there. All the children were running. So far, we had, Humpy Rumpy helped to save the children when he tried to be a coconut tree. That's the hippopotamus. Then we had Mugglewump, the monkey, that helped to save the children at the playground. What other characters haven't you heard from yet? I wonder if they're going to help out. We have to wait and see. The children screamed and ran for their lives. Mugglewump disappeared back into the jungle. The enormous crocodile was left all alone in the playground. He cursed the monkey and waddled back into the bushes to hide. "I'm getting hungrier and hungrier," he said. "I shall have to eat at least 4 children now before I'm full up." The enormous crocodile crept around the edge of town, taking great care not to be seen. He came to a place where they were getting ready to have a fair. There were slides and swings and dog'em carts and people selling popcorn and cotton candy. Ooh, I love cotton candy. There was also a big merry-go-round. The merry-go-round had marvelous wooden creatures for the children to ride on. There were white horses and lions and tigers and mermaids with fish tails and fearsome dragons with red tongues sticking out of their mouths. "Now for clever trick number 3, said the enormous crocodile, licking his lips. Oh my goodness. So that was him after Mugglewump told the children to skedaddle. And this is him now. So, you see this back here? He's looking at that place. So, I wonder if that's where the fair is. How many of you have been to a fair? Okay, they talked about a merry-go-round, they talked about popcorn and cotton candy. That sounds like an amusement park to me. So, because it says also that the merry-go-round had a place where the children could ride wooden creatures. So this crocodile think that he's slick. So he is thinking about, I wonder, he's talking about a merry-go-round. I don't know what this crocodile's gonna do. But you know what? To be continued tomorrow. That is the end of the reading today. So tomorrow we are going to find out what happens to this enormous crocodile. So in the meantime, scholars, I want you to continue to work hard so that you can get smart. Remember that the harder you work, the smarter you get. So everyone, remember to follow me on social media at @RGladToEducate on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also look there for lessons, for activities for your scholars to do. So I want everyone to have a triumphant Thursday and make it a great day on purpose. See you tomorrow.